Game 2 of a Saturday doubleheader here. The women had their game. East Con taking it 50-38, and now come the men. Just a few minutes away from tip-off here as UMass Boston and Eastern Connecticut State go head-to-head for the second time this season. The women made it a season sweep. For the men, UMass Boston looking to earn a season split after a close loss up in Willimantic, Connecticut. For the Beacons, it is about revenge for that game, a game that they know they could have had, one that slipped away from them, a 76-70 win for the Warriors in that game. It's a new-look Eastern roster this season, a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and UMass Boston's going to be looking to take advantage of the home court here. EastCon is 9-1 in their own building, but on the road, just 2-3, looking a lot more beatable away from their home turf. But they have won 5 straight. They have not lost consecutive games this season, and they have shown an ability to eke out close wins in addition to blowing teams out. We take a look at the team stats here in advance of this one and break down what makes these teams tick. You can get a look at them here. A lot of them are closer than you might think, given where the team's records are. UMass Boston 6-8 overall in the season, 2-4 in conference, puts them at 6th. EastCon 11-4 and 6-1 in conference. But the rebounding margin, a little bit closer than you'd expect. The turnover margin present. And a big part of this has been EastCon's ability to eke out close wins. That is why, for instance, UMass Boston's scoring margin is an average of plus .01, basically even, and that is good for 7th in the conference out of 9 teams. For EastCon, on the other hand, plus 4, just 5th, and this is for a second-place team in a decent sample size. They've gotten blown out a couple of times, for sure, but they have gotten the 1-possession wins, the 2-possession wins, so this team knows how to win, they know how to grind it out. They are also a solid 3-point shooting team. 34% from downtown puts them at 2nd in the conference. UMass Boston is down in last place. However, UMass Boston is also a solid defender of the 3-point shot, and EastCon is not. So there may be some amount of leveling out here. We will see. But for now, the field goal percentage looks relatively even. The defense looks relatively even. It's the scoring where EastCon has a little bit of an advantage, and we'll get more into that a little bit later. For UMass Boston, our player to watch is Malik Lorquette. 7.6 rebounds per game, 5th in the conference. 3 blocks per game, leads the conference by a wide margin, almost by a full block per game for him. And a 1.2 steals per game average puts him in the top 20. For ECSU, the player to watch will be Max Lee. Similar profile here. 7 rebounds per game puts him right behind Lorquette at 7th in the conference, but it's the assists that set him apart and the ball handling. 7 assists per game, good for 2nd in the conference. His assist to turnover ratio and his steals per game numbers are LEC bests, and his minutes per game ranks in the top 5. Is an interesting combination of player here. The leading in the rebounds and assists category is not a common occurrence. 6'3" sophomore guard who knows how to hit the boards. We are going to take a quick break here with tip-off just a few minutes away. We come back, EastCon and UMass Boston going head-to-head for the second time this season. Just about ready to get things going here from the Clark Athletic Center. My name's Milton Posner. Thank you so much for joining us for this contest. You got UMass Boston here in their home whites with a blue trim. Eastern here in their navy jerseys with a white trim. And they will take the tip in the early going. Max Lee to trigger. He's out there with Rakesh Tibby. Tyrese Jones, who takes the pass now. Jalen Williams. And Thomas Close rounding out the starting lineup here for head coach Bill Geithner in his 20th season. Woods, they got 5 seconds to shoot now into Tibby. Tied up there. And they're going to call the offensive foul there on Rakesh Tibby. Hooking his defender. His defender would be Michael Walsh. Out there for the Beacons. Charlie Mitchell, the twins. Malik Lorquette, Stephen DiGregorio, and Tommy Burris. DiGregorio takes it now, driving to the left block, goes into the back down, pops out. 10 seconds to shoot for the Beacons. They will not shoot. Tyrese Woods with a pilfer. Pass back, Jalen Williams back to Woods. Two-time conference player of the week so far this season. He'll cough up the ball. It's Charlie Mitchell to trigger. His brother Charles is the real heavy hitter here. 20.6 points per game, good for third in the LEC this season. The highest average scoring of any player in this game. DiGregorio second on the team here, into the low block there, trying to carve out space, and he's fouled on the try. He will earn free throws. DiGregorio, 71% free throw shooter this season. Named LEC Rookie of the Week on December 20th. He's top 25 in the conference in scoring, in rebounding, and assists and minutes played for this UMass Boston team, and he gets them on the board. Freshman guard, 6'2", out of Marlborough, Mass. Misfires on the second. And we're going to get a look at how Max Lee orchestrates the offense here. 7 rebounds and 7 assists per game. Oh, and DiGregorio, a little too sharp an angle, cutting him off, and he will be whistled for the foul. Lee around the screen. Kick. Jalen Williams for 3. That one goes down. Williams with a first field goal of the game for either side. Three-point shooting, a big strength of this Warriors team. And an offensive foul there, a moving screen. Whistled against Malik Lorquette. Excuse me, that will go against Burris. Second foul for the Beacons. Oh, what a beautiful lead pass, and Williams finishes it off. Gorgeous look there from Quinton Lott, who's just come on for the Warriors. Immediately, big man making his presence felt. DiGregorio now, Charlie Mitchell. Surveying, finds his brother coming off a pin down. On the left wing, Tyrese Woods plastered all over him. DiGregorio, spin move into the lane, tough shot, and a travel. To the utter delight of the ECSU bench, who is right in the referee's ear and correctly pointed out the extra step. 5-1 in the early going. Beacons still looking for their first field goal. Close, driving. Poked loose by Mitchell, and a foul there. Assessed against Mitchell. Third personal for the Beacons. So the officials tight on the whistles in the early going. The team's going to go to the huddle quickly. Not sure if the officials need appears to be an official timeout. Pointing up at the scoreboard here, trying to resolve an issue. Not sure if it's a clock issue or what. We have not seen the clock change. And they're clarifying it's a foul on the floor. Neither team making a substitution here. And off the inbounds, Close stumbles, regains his footing. And now 15 seconds for the Warriors to work with. Woods with a driving kick. Max Lee trying to find the angle. Beacons covering the weave nicely. Long three-pointer. Jalen Williams again. This time it's no good. The Beacons regain the miss. Only point on their side of the scoreboard, a Stephen DiGregorio free throw. Still have not seen a shot attempted yet by leading scorer Charles Mitchell. Lorquette spins into his man, and that's an offensive foul. Holding his ground was Quentin Lott. Rakesh Tibby picked up 2 fouls in the opening minute and change of play, and so Quentin Lott deployed a little bit earlier than he's typically used to. Already with a splendid assist and drawing the charge there. Now he's going to get an offensive touch. It's poked away, and he has to chase it back down. Pick and roll time with Close, except he rejects it. Goes to Woods for 3. No good. And off of Max Lee, says the baseline official. 3.5 minutes in. Beacons still looking for their first field goal. They have not attempted a field goal. 4 turnovers and a trip to the foul line is all they have gotten. So the Beacons still looking to, in a manner of speaking, take their first shot almost 4 minutes into the game here. Charlie Mitchell into Malik Lorquette, guarded by Lott. Into the lane. There's the first shot, and it's no good. First attempt of the game for the Beacons goes awry. We're inside of the 16-minute mark now. Quentin Lott into Lorquette. Lorquette, strong defense, and DiGregorio skies for the rebound. Handoff, Charlie Mitchell to his brother Charles, coming around a couple of screens now. Leaning jump shot, tough one, and it just grazes the rim on its way down. Max Lee with a handoff now. Tyrese Woods, they're looking for Lott in the middle. Beautiful crossover. Oh, and what a rip away. Charlie Mitchell. Now to Charles. Pass back. Yep, and that's a double dribble call. Got caught in midair with nowhere to go. And the trailer, Tommy Burris, not in a good spot to receive the ball. It's a media timeout here, which is going to give us a chance to dissect one of the oddest-looking stat sheets I've seen in a good long while here. 4 minutes, 38 seconds gone. Here's what the UMass Boston side of the board looks like. 1 point off of a Stephen DiGregorio free throw. 2 attempts from the field in 4 minutes and change. 5 turnovers and 4 fouls to their name. They have as many steals as they do field goal tries. On the opposite side, it looks a little bit more like normal basketball, with Jalen Williams having scored all 5 points for the East Con Warriors. 2 of 3 shooting from the floor for him. 3 turnovers and 2 fouls there, particularly the 2 fouls coming against Rakesh Tibby, sending him to the bench after just 1 minute of action, bringing on Quentin Lott, who has played rather well. For Tibby, normally plays about 17 minutes a game. Recently inserted in the starting lineup. Averaging 7 points, 4 boards a game, so a valuable role player on this team. Teams go with the same lineups. It's Tyrese Woods, Quentin Lott, Thomas Close, Max Lee, Jalen Williams out there for East Con. Charles and Charlie Mitchell, Stephen DiGregorio, Malik Lorquette, and Tommy Burris. For head coach Jason Harris of the Beacons in his 7th season. Pass poked away and out of bounds for East Con to inbound. DiGregorio face guarding 40 feet from the rim. Lott surveying Williams. They swing it to Lee. Oh, what a great pick and roll there. Williams blocked by Lorquette. LEC leader in blocks per game. Charles Mitchell now into Lorquette. DiGregorio surveying. Quick pass to Burris. 12 seconds for the Beacons to shoot. Lorquette. Spider-Man hand grabs it. And another offensive foul on Malik Lorquette. His second. And another turnover to his name as well. So 2 blocks for Lorquette in the early going. But that play, that sequence, happens twice. Once on each side of the floor. And UMass Boston, through 5.5 minutes, has attempted just 2 shots. Close, fires for 3. No good, but the rebound right to Lee. Kick, Woods for 3. No good. Quinton Lott snatches the rebound. And Ike Alua of the Beacons rips it right from him. Burris surveying. Mitchell coming off a wraparound screen. Step back. Oh, what a great handoff there. Mitchell still no dice on the field goal here. Just the Beacons' 3rd field goal try in the opening 6 minutes, and none of them have found the bottom of the net. And so we were wondering, amid the offensive struggles that we saw from the women's team down the stretch, single-digit scoring in 3 of the last 4 quarters. And the men seem to be not really doing a whole lot better. Giveaway here. DiGregorio chases it down in the corner. 4th turnover for EastCon. Charlie Mitchell catapults a pass cross-court to his brother. Charlie. Ike Alua for 3. Banks it in from straight away. And if that's how the Beacons get their first field goal, so be it. 1-point game. Despite all the offensive struggles, the Beacons' defense has held firm and has kept this one close. Oh, a beautiful reach-around deflection there for Ike Alua. .6'3" guard is Alua, but with arms that stretch, at times it seems, to the floor. Inbound pass, Williams, still the only player in navy blue who has scored thus far. DiGregorio, head of steam in transition, dump-off pass, Alua gets it ripped away. Inside of 13 minutes now, Tyrese Woods, they swing it wide. Thomas, close, 3, not even close. And the Beacons go the other way. Charles Mitchell on the outlet pass, and they'll reset in the half court. The Beacons, despite having tried just 4 shots in the first 7.5 minutes, have a chance to take the lead here. And Charlie Mitchell draws a foul on Max Lee, driving along the right lane line. Malik Brooms has checked in for Tommy Burris there. You can see him wearing number 10 in white. DiGregorio, spin into the lane, no good. Lee jumps for the board. Pass up ahead to Lott, and he's up on the end line. A little bit too much lead in the lead pass. Entering the game now is Benjamin Toussaint in favor of Quinton Lott, 6'4" freshman guard out of Belmore, New York. UMass Boston here, just as was the case in the women's game, whichever team finds some semblance of their offense first is going to has a chance to run away with the lead here. Malik Brooms stands still 3, off the back rim. Max Lee hunting down yet another rebound. He's already got 4 of them. Oh, and a little bit of an inadvertent chokehold there applied by Cade Ensinger of the Warriors. Under 12 media timeout here. 5-4 the score. I'm going to step aside for a quick minute and be right back with the rest of the first half action from Clark Athletic Center. You're watching Beacons basketball on the LEC Network. Out of the timeout, both teams looking to jumpstart their offenses. Turnovers have been the issue in a little bit, but it's also been just missed shots, plain and simple. Good looks that aren't going down. A couple players stumbling here. 3 seconds to shoot. Charlie Mitchell has got to get something off. Leaner, and a foul. A foul on Benjamin Toussaint of the Warriors. And back to the free throw line go the Beacons. Charlie Mitchell to the charity stripe here. Shooting 76% on the season. And knocks down the first of two. Not to sound like a broken record here, and apologies if I am, but I need you viewers at home to bear witness to what it is we're seeing here. UMass Boston is leading this game 9 minutes in, and their scoring has consisted of 3 free throws and a banked-in three-pointer from straightaway. Cade Ensinger, Tyrese Woods thought about a three. Whoa, what a quick crossover into the lane. Tyrese Woods, quicker and twitchier than a cricket, gets to the front of the rim. DiGregorio has to go out to field the bounce pass. Kick in the corner. Charlie Mitchell thought about it. DiGregorio will do more than think about it. He'll drain it. Steven DiGregorio. He's grabbing his knee a little bit as he's hopping around. He seems to be grimacing. He knocked down the three. Not sure if this is something he's been experiencing for a minute or if it happened on that play. And to keep a look on how well he's moving, as Benjamin Toussaint's going to go to the line for two. But the first field goal that didn't come as a result of an unintentional bank. UMass Boston takes the lead now 9-7. Toussaint now the first free throws tried for the Warriors, gets the roll on the first. And DiGregorio is going to go to the bench. He's moving, but he is noticeably hobbling around a little bit. He seems to be grabbing his right knee, flexing it, trying to keep it moving here on the bench. Bobby Joy is going to come in for Charlie Mitchell as well. Michael Walsh subbing in for Steven DiGregorio, who's going back to talk to the... not sure what he's doing back there. I think he's just trying to keep it loose, trying to keep himself moving. The pair made free throws from Benjamin Toussaint evens the score at 9. As we come up on the halfway point of what has been a very low-scoring, scrappy first half. Ike Alua. And an offensive foul here. They call him for hooking with the off arm. Extended the ball, cradled the ball in an arm that looks like it goes on forever. But the other one doing a little bit too much pulling and pushing. 9-9, 9 minutes and change to go. Max Lee. Tyrese Woods, pass goes right through his hands, and Charles Mitchell, ever the quick one, beats him to the corner. Mitchell now driving to the bucket. Tricky move there and didn't have the angle to shoot it properly. Tyrese Woods now, it's a 2-on-2. Shifts gears. Stops on a dime. Kick, fire, three. Ensinger, good! Cade Ensinger gives EastCon the lead again. Charlie Mitchell, after a very short rest, comes to the scorer's table, as does Steven DiGregorio. Ike Alua driving now, loses the handle, gets it back, fumbles up the shot. Here comes Max Lee. Also get our first look at Jalen Gordon here. You can see him being guarded by Ike Alua, coming across to the corner now, to the right of Tyrese Woods, who opts to swing it the other way. Max Lee on the left wing, drives around Bobby Joy, and off of Lee, out of bounds. So the giveaways continue for both teams. That's 8 turnovers in the first 11 minutes of play. UMass Boston, 3 points from the charity stripe, 6 from three-pointers. Tommy Burris now. Charles Mitchell, and they're going to call a blocking foul there. Assessed against Jalen Gordon of ECSU. Fifth foul for the Warriors. UMass Boston's got 8, so ECSU comfortably in the bonus here. Likely to hit the double bonus at 10 fouls before the end of the half. Walsh stops, swings. Charlie Mitchell driving, tough layup. DiGregorio sails in for the rebound, puts it up and in. Steven DiGregorio, boxed in by Warriors, finishes the shot and earns himself a trip to the foul line. DiGregorio doubled up basketball and football in high school, and he says he feels like there was a lot of cross applicability there. He misses the first free throw. Walsh gets the board. That playing football helped him growing up with the basketball physicality, and that basketball helped him with the agility he needed to play wide out on the football field. Originally committed to Endicott, he felt like he'd have a presence there. He could play both sports. But the pandemic forced him to reassess financial decisions. He played basketball a ton. Discovered his love of it as he picks off the pass there. He reached back out to a few schools. Needed something with the location, the financial fit, the play style being a fit. And he found UMass Boston. And so far he's found the foul line a good deal in this one. 4 points, 3 rebounds for him. UMass Boston hanging tough here. 12-11 reads the score. And for them, this is going to be a chance for revenge for the last meeting. December 7th, 2021. This was the LEC opener for both teams, and ECSU won it 76-60. The win snapped what was a 2-game win streak the Beacons had over the Warriors. It was the longest such win streak they'd had in 15 years. And that becomes a lot more realistic once you see where the all-time series stands. ECSU's got 58 wins over UMass Boston. The Beacons have returned the favor just 22 times. But in that game, we saw something that we have not seen so far today, which is Charles Mitchell absolutely taking a blowtorch to the Warrior defense. 33 points, what was then a season high. He would beat it by a couple points a week later. But then a season high 33 points on 11 of 22 from the floor and 6 of 12 from downtown. Steven DiGregorio and Emmanuel Zayas both had double figures. That was the game where Mitchell passed Carl Joseph for 7th on the UMass Boston all-time scoring list. But Max Lee and Tyrese Woods led ECSU back. And UMass Boston never trimmed into the second half lead that the Warriors built enough to get back in the game. Tyrese Woods, 3 seconds to shoot here. Kick, Gordon for 3. No good, and DiGregorio with another rebound. Terrific outlet pass. Charles Mitchell in transition. And they'll run it in the half court instead. Good transition defense there. DiGregorio on the reverse. Well, I guess the knee's okay. Steven DiGregorio with 6 points to lead all scorers. And UMass Boston back on top by 1. Tyrese Woods now. Lightning fast dribble moves there from the point guard. Pop shot. Jalen Williams, no good. UMass Boston with a rebound. Quentin Lott will check in at the next whistle. Charlie Mitchell from downtown misses everything. And Max Lee will push. Both teams shown a willingness to push in transition, even when the opportunities were not evident. So a lot of up and down action here, albeit not a ton of scoring to show for it. Tyrese Woods and DiGregorio picks up his second personal. Shooting foul anyway. The next foul for UMass Boston is going to put ECSU in the double bonus. Tyrese Woods now to the charity stripe, shooting 82% on the season, and knocks down the first to tie the game. Emmanuel Zayas will see his first action. He comes in for Charlie Mitchell. Quinton Lott re-enters in the stead of Jalen Gordon. So it's Max Lee, Tyrese Woods, Quinton Lott, Jalen Williams, Thomas Close out there for the Warriors. Stephen DiGregorio, Emmanuel Zayas, Charles Mitchell, Michael Walsh, and Tommy Burris for the Beacons. Mitchell, face guarded by Tyrese Woods. Zayas now to Walsh. UMass Boston still trying to get the ball inside, or no, they'll settle for a three. Walsh can't get the bounce. Outlet pass, Tyrese Woods. Mitchell giving chase. No good on the layup. Mitchell bothered him just enough. Mitchell with superb makeup speed there. Zayas now driving, kick, DiGregorio. Along the left side of the lane, forces his way through. Stephen DiGregorio bowling and bouncing his way to the rim for two, and he's got 8 points to lead all scorers. Michael Walsh pleading innocent there, but he'll be tagged with a foul, and fairly so, as Quinton Lott hits the deck. First foul for him. That is going to put ECSU in the double bonus. $10 points for DiGregorio to lead his side. Jalen Williams is 5. Still good for tops on the EastCon side. And then Quinton Lott thought it was 1-1, but they are in the double bonus now. So he will get... He'll get 2 free throws there as his teammate Jalen Williams just telling everybody, okay, calm down a little bit. If a guy's going to make a mistake like that, you'd rather he be a little bit over-aggressive and pursue the ball as opposed to not recognizing it's a 1-1 when it truly is. And we're having some scoreboard issues as the scoreboard has decided to just take a nap right now. So there we go, buddy. You're back. Not sure if this is related to the issue that seemed to be there earlier, the 17:22 mark, when the refs just kind of hung out and looked at the scoreboard and talked to the table for a little while and appeared to change nothing at all. Charles Mitchell making sure he got over the timeline. 15-15, 5:15 to go. Charles Mitchell up and in. The body control, the strength, and the presence of mind to finish it off. First field goal of the game for Charles Mitchell on his 5th try. And he'll go to the line to complete the 3-point play. (18-15). And a Beacons team that didn't actually take a shot until the 16-minute mark. It's been hanging tough with a very good EastCon team. Up by 3 here as we move inside of 5 minutes left in the first half. Thomas Close. Stringent defense there. Zayas to DiGregorio. Zayas taking his time there with a bigger Tyrese Woods guarding him. Loses him around the screen, earns a switch on the Close. Kick, Michael Walsh, corner 3, no good. Rattles out. Walsh still looking for his first bucket. Jalen Williams tries for 3, no good. Strong close there from the Beacons. They have not allowed a whole lot of good looks from 3. DiGregorio to Walsh, that one's poked loose. He goes on the floor to get it, and a tie-up. Jump ball will keep it here. with the Warriors earning control of the arrow. Zayas, Mitchell, and they're going to call a travel there. And this is what happens in the LEC games. Traveling on the catch, traveling when you take your first step and start your dribble, traveling when you pick up your dribble driving to the basket. All of it is officiated at a very tight level in these games. It's not to say that the calls are wrong, but it's called to a level of stringency that you don't often see. Thomas Close knocks down the three there. We are tied at 18. Inside of 4 minutes here. Zayas got the step. Can't finish, but Burris chases down the board. Mitchell, reload three, no good. Off Michael Walsh, out of bounds. That'll take us to the under 4 media timeout. We'll be right back with the last few minutes of first half action from the Clark Athletic Center. Stick around. (18-18) with 3:18 to go here in the first half. And a foul immediately whistled there away from the ball, it would seem. Which Warrior? It's going to be Thomas Close, it would appear. But that or Jalen Williams. Looks like Jalen Williams. No, indeed. They clarify now it was Close. Ike Alua now. To Walsh, to Charles Mitchell up top. Surveying. Walsh, same spot, different results. Michael Walsh with his third three-point attempt gets one to go. Beacons 3 of 8 from downtown in the early going. Max Lee now. Tyrese Woods, catch and shoot three, and he answers. Charlie Mitchell now. His brother beside him in the backcourt. Charles Mitchell now looking for his brother again. They're playing this possession on the perimeter until DiGregorio makes his move. Long two, fires, rattles out. Tyrese Woods looking to run. Warriors so fast out in transition. And the Beacons hold firm in the paint. Inside of 2 minutes now, still even at 21. Charles Mitchell with a drive to the bucket. Draws the foul. 2 shots for Mitchell. Jalen Williams whistled for the foul this time. UMass Boston now in the double bonus for the last minute 52 of time. Charles Mitchell goes to the charity stripe and clangs the first one short. 74% from the free throw line on the season for him. And he misses both. So a chance for the Beacons to retake the lead is squandered. Thomas close. Tyrese Woods. Oh, what a cross to the bucket. Oh, and that's a blocking foul. Alua can't believe it. 2 shots there for Tyrese Woods, who with that crossover can sort of teleport to the rim at will sometimes. And a chance for him to put the Warriors back on top, and he does. Benjamin Toussaint in for Jalen Williams. Steven DiGregorio still leading the way for the Beacons, 4 of 6 for 10 points. Leading in rebounds as well with 4. Tyrese Woods has taken over the lead for the Warriors. He's got 8 points, make that 9 points as he's knocked down all 4 of his free throws. Minute and a half left here. Alua surveying. Charles Mitchell coming off a screen. Instead, they go to Burris, and the pass too low for him to handle. Michael Walsh lowballing the pass. And the Beacons starting to get a little bit stagnant here. This is the advantage on the eastern side of having a player like Tyrese Woods, who can teleport to the rim if he wants, of a player like Max Lee who can create as well. If you're the Beacons and you don't have players like that, you need to counter. And the way you counter is with off-ball movement, snappy passing. Ball clangs off. Tyrese Woods with a long rebound. Crossover. Oh, what a move. Shake and bake. Kick to close. Beacons recover nicely. 10 seconds to shoot. Lee finds Lott on the post. Waves it off. Offensive foul. The slot official making the call from across the court and whistling Quentin Lott for the clear-out move with the off arm. This is an uncommon thing. The officials have zones is pretty much how this functions. You have the slot official or the center official level with the foul line. You have the lead official under the basket along the baseline. And then you have the trail official who usually sets up somewhere between the hash mark or the top of the three-point line and the half-court line. You are allowed to go out of primary, meaning you are allowed to make a call outside of your zone. Usually you don't. Usually you defer to the official who has the closest view of it. But occasionally it's not so much about proximity to the call, it's about angle. If the official closest to it has their view blocked, and you have a view of an off-arm clear out there, it is your responsibility to call it. But nevertheless, it doesn't happen quite that frequently. And an interesting development there on the call, and Lott seemed to object. But he could just be doing that for the kicks. 23-21. Eastern still with the lead. Charles Mitchell short on that one. Ball gets kicked out to Charlie Mitchell now. Drives. Handoff. Burris. Kick. Alua. Run off the line. Offensive foul. The flying knee there, and the Eastern defender has position. So another offensive foul assessed to the Beacons there. A couple of them put Malik Lorquette on the bench where he has been since. This one assessed against Ike Alua. And another timeout. 31.3 seconds to go. Head coach Bill Geithner of EastCon looking to set up his last shot of the half. Both teams in the double bonus, both teams just a shade over 20 points here as we get ready to close the door on a very competitive first half, an oddball first half at that, in which UMass Boston did not try a shot for 4 minutes. It was turnovers, not necessarily for lack of trying. Steven DiGregorio powering the offense here despite what seemed to be a little bit of a knee issue that he has been playing through. Tyrese Woods emerging to be his counterpart. The senior guard, 5'11" out of Hartford. And he takes the ball now, guarded by Charles Mitchell as he steps over the half-court line. Back to Woods. 12 seconds to shoot, swing to Max Lee. He's going to reset here. 5 seconds to shoot. Shot clock and game clock almost level. Lee floats it. Lott gets it a go. Oh, and Max Lee there trying to draw a charge right at the whistle, flopping a little bit here. Oh, and Charlie Mitchell down just outside the three-point line here, massaging his leg. Looks like his calf. Surrounded by Tommy Burris, by Ike Alua, his teammates. And he gets to his feet here. This would be a big loss for the Beacons if he's unable to continue here. He's played 14 minutes in this half. Averages 29 a game, contributes 7 points, 3 rebounds per contest. But for the moment, we're going to send you to the highlights from the Wednesday game. UMass Boston, 70 points to etch out a win, a 19-point win over Southern Maine. When we come back, we're going to give you some halftime stats and some other updates from the world of UMass Boston sports. start guilt tripping everyone. Okay.
Did you text Dave? Is this a problem? Or like...
What's up? Sorry.
It's fine.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get all the scores in.
No, all good. Do you know how to like turn it back on or?
I mean, it looks like it's on. It looks like it just cut out.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Sorry. Unrelated thing. I'm trying to find a way to swap one of my games here because there's a spot on a nesting game I kind of want. I want to throw.
Who's playing on that? George, you're having a hard time today.
I am. I tried to like come back on and I was like, stop.
Good enough. Just turn it off, then turn it back on.
Okay.
Turn on. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm freezing.
You're what?
I'm gonna go back in like maybe 2 minutes,
Okay.
and then I can just talk straight into the action. I think. It'll give you enough time to build whatever stuff you need to build.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got everything. So we'll go right into halftime stats right now.
Give me a quick sec. I just gotta fire off an email. Oh my god, okay.
Okay.
Really don't want to miss that game.
What game is it?
It's somebody who's looking for a cover for a color commentator spot for a Northeastern Towson game. That's going to be on NESN Plus.
Basketball?
Yeah, men's basketball. And so I'm like, if it were a busy week, I wouldn't be bothering to try to like swap stuff, but it's not a super busy week that week, so I'm like taking on an extra game is not a big deal. So like if Seth doesn't mind like taking that game, and then I can pick up like literally any game he wants, I'll do it.
Alright, ready?
Not quite.
You take a look at the team stats there in a very low-scoring half. The percentages, as you would expect, mostly pretty low and pretty even in the rebounding category and in the turnovers category. There's not a lot to dissect when you look at them this way. But if you're just joining us now, two things. One, explain yourself. Where were you at the beginning? And two, UMass Boston started the half off in a very peculiar way, given that they're a basketball team. They didn't really shoot the basketball so much. Through 4 minutes, they'd turned the ball over 4 times. They had taken a trip to the foul line. Even when they started shooting, they didn't hit their first field goal until after the 5-minute, after they were 5 minutes into the game. Eventually, the offense picked up, by which I mean Stephen DiGregorio picked it up and led them to where they are right now, which is trailing by 4 to an EastCon team that had its own offensive struggles amid the Beacon's tight perimeter and interior defense. We'll take a look at the LEC out-of-town scoreboard. A little bit more going on because we had some earlier games that have since wrapped or come close to wrapping. On the out-of-town scoreboard, we can see Plymouth State and Western Connecticut State doing battle. WestCon taking it over them. UMass Dartmouth oh my goodness, that is a fantastic number of points for a college basketball game. Nevertheless, it's out of conference. Keene State doing a very thorough thrashing of Southern Maine so far in their game. Rhode Island and Castleton going to face off later on in the day. UMass Boston sitting 6th in the conference with a record in LEC play of 2-4. Keene State, the only team ahead of EastCon, as EastCon is at a 6-1 record for the second spot. We take a look now at the around Beaconville slot and get a sense of what the other teams are doing. As you saw earlier, if you're cool and hip and watch these things, the women's basketball team here at UMass Boston fell to the EastCon counterparts 50-38. The women's hockey team battling Southern Maine next door. They are tied at 0 at the end of the first. The men's hockey team will be taking on Southern Maine in just a few minutes. And the indoor track and field team is going to have a meet on Friday. We're going to throw you really quick to the women's hockey highlights from last Friday. They won over Salem State, and be right back with
Everybody notice this girl when she step up in a place where the hair on fire. The way she breaks it, 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 the way she breaks it. She might not be
A scrappy, low-scoring first half, same as we had in the women's game. Will the second half be any different? Tyrese Woods wants it to be, and he gets it started off the right way for his Warriors. He's got 11 points, leading all scorers. Charlie Mitchell back out there, an encouraging sign for Jason Harris and the Beacon squad. He was grimacing a little bit down after the last play of the first half, grabbing what appeared to be his right calf. Malik Lorquette now working his way in to the block. Strong defense there by Rakeem Tibby. Pass inside, and Lorquette makes the most of the second chance. Rakeem Tibby held him off the first time. Second time the charm. Lead back to 4. Woods splitting 2 defenders. Dump off pass. Lays it up. Oh, and a miss there. Rakeem Tibby and Lorquette took a hit to the face. No call there. He is down on the ground still as EastCon takes the and one. And Stephen DiGregorio looking at the referee like, come on. He took a hit. And you can hear Jason Harris, the head coach from across the gym, saying, why is he on the ground if no one touched him? Looked like he took a hit above the neck. Possibly in the eye. But instead of a call against EastCon, it's going to be an and one opportunity for EastCon. As the gym's gone silent here. Lorquette slowly getting up to one knee. Just a minute into the half. And a big turnaround here. Lorquette is going to, it appears he's going to exit the game here. Ike Alua will come back in. So Lorquette took a hit. His coach talking to him, trying to make sure he's okay. Lorquette picked up 2 quick offensive fouls in the first half and spent most of it on the bench. Now he finally gets back into the action, and he's being checked out now by the training staff behind the bench. Jason Harris still talking to the refs on the sideline. When the refs miss that sort of call, and it happens sometimes, they just miss things. They don't see them. There's not really a whole lot you can accomplish by complaining because there's not a whole lot the refs can do at that point. You can't exactly change the call just because you ask them, and so it's always a little bit curious, I suppose, what goes on after calls like that. Suppose if you're a coach, you think maybe as Ike Alua misses the layup here, maybe you can earn yourself a consolation call on the next play or two. As Malik Lorquette's going to check back in at the next whistle. Jalen Williams now. EastCon leading by 7. Pass comes in. Rakeem Tibby scores. Gets into the body of Ike Alua. Tibby's got 4 inches and 40 pounds on Alua. Alua can kind of stand in as a big man here. He's got long arms. He can be a capable rebounder. But it is hard for him to contend with the size. Can he punish him now with the athleticism? No. DiGregorio with a long three-pointer, no good. But if Alua is going to be taken to the block by Rakeem Tibby there, then he has got to find it. Someone's got to pick Tibby up. He was open for about 5 seconds. Tyrese Woods misfires. Charles Mitchell was stuck on Tibby, and Mitchell has the same size issue. He'll fire for 3 now, no good. Rebound falls to Alua. Comes back in, and he draws the foul on Tibby. Most of the guys on both rosters here are down below 200 pounds. EastCon has more size and strength than UMass Boston does in a lot of respects. They have a lot of guys in the 6'3 to 6'5 range who clock in at anywhere from 200 to 210 on the scale. UMass Boston has got Simon Puro up at 210. We have not seen him. And James Hughes, neither one is a big member of the regular rotation. And so they try to go in with guys who are not necessarily as thick or strong. Not so much the bruising type, but they'll go with long, capable rebounders, athletic guards who can counter opposing teams' size on the boards. But with Rakesh Tibby now having a chance to play after escaping the first half foul trouble, there's a chance for EastCon to use that size and get some buckets down low. Open things up for their shooters, open things up for their guards. Tommy Burris subs in for Ikalua here. 6'4", 190. He's giving up a little bit less weight. 25 pounds and not 40. Malik Lorquette will match up against Tibby. Both of them 215 pounds. A little bit better of a chance. And Lorquette, oh my goodness! Lorquette blocked it into the basket. There's something you don't see too often. Malik Lorquette, the conference leader in blocks by a wide margin, does everything right. And after the hit to the face earlier in the quarter, or earlier in the half, excuse me, he blocks in a shot. Really is not his day. UMass Boston trailing by 9. It's the largest deficit they've faced today. DiGregorio swings to Charlie Mitchell. To Charles Mitchell. Lorquette now. Hungry. Kick. Mitchell. Run off the line. He'll fire from the mid-range instead. No good, but DiGregorio snatches the board. In reward for his efforts, he gets a 3 and he misfires. Max Lee crashing the boards and drawing the foul. Charles Mitchell, just 1 for 8. In a lot of ways mirroring the struggles faced by Meg Dixon, the top scorer for the UMass Boston women's team, who had a similar stat line to what Mitchell has at the moment. Finished the game with only 5 points. Well off the mark from her usual 17. Max Lee driving, no good. Lorquette seals and snatches the rebound. Charles Mitchell now, he's got Tyrese Woods guarding him. Driving, scoop layup is good. And if the Beacons can get him going, then this becomes a very different game. Tyrese Woods, the top scorer for EastCon, has been going. He is the game's leading scorer. And if Mitchell finds his range, if he finds his driving angles, EastCon is going to have to make some big defensive adjustments or points will be poured in. Some might have gotten away with a little bit of a walk there as he backed into the corner. Tyrese Woods makes good on the chance. Mitchell mishandles the ball, fires to his brother. Shovel pass, Lorquette. Fumbling around to the Beacons. DiGregorio goes with a lefty layup and misfires. Tyrese Woods coming off a screen. Into the lane, into the body, scores! Timeout, UMass Boston. Biggest lead of the game for the Warriors. And it'll take us to a timeout. 11 points down with 14 to go. And if UMass Boston wants to stay out of desperation mode, now is the time to start eating into this lead. Malik Lorquette, and that's going to be his third offensive foul of the game as Rakesh Tibby tumbles to the floor. Third offensive foul. Fifth turnover committed by by Malik Lorquette. Jason Harris irate on the UMass Boston bench. It's unclear to what extent it's about the refs or his own player. Appears to be the refs. Tyrese Woods, Tibby with a great catch underneath the basket. And Mitchell anticipating the kick out. Beautiful court awareness there. Outlet pass intended for his brother and winds up on his own bench. So Charles Mitchell still having a tough time getting to his usual level of production, and he's got twice as many turnovers as he does made field goals. Max Lee looking for a teammate, finds Toussaint, who kind of crossed himself up there on the first step. Mitchell, kick to his brother. No good. Oh, what a save there. Michael Walsh putting his body to the floor. Earns his team another chance. Can they make good on it? Charles Mitchell trapped along the baseline. They fling out with 10 seconds on the shot clock. They will reset. Charles Mitchell guarded by Max Lee. Step back. Kick. Charlie Mitchell for three. No good. Malik Lorquette picks off the pass there. Mitchell pressuring the handler. In transition, shifts gears and scores. Charles Mitchell from third gear all the way to sixth in a split second. Applying the pressure downhill. The key is, can they get him going in the half court as well? Thomas Close for three. It's good. Thomas Close with that little hitch, a little hang in his jumper at the apex of the leap, and knocks it down. Malik Lorquette driving now, and he scores. Lorquette with his second field goal of the game. He's had trouble driving to the bucket, pressuring in from the post position without committing an offensive foul. But a little more restrained on that move, and he gets the job done. Charlie Mitchell meeting close up top and a little too physical, says the trail official. Calls him for the push. That's the the fourth team foul for UMass Boston. And we'll keep it here for the under-12 media timeout to take a look at the stats and how they're panning out here. Tyrese Woods has already equaled his season average. In fact, he's very slightly exceeded it. 15 points. He averages 14 on the season, good for 13th in the conference. Thomas Close has contributed a couple of three-pointers. He is fourth in the LEC in that category. On the UMass Boston side, Charles Mitchell, top 5 in the conference in points per game, in free throw percentage, in three-pointers made per game, and top 10 in a bunch of other categories as well. Has had a quiet day. 7 points on 3 of 10 shooting. 4 steals have upped his presence, and he has certainly been active on the defensive end. But the question of the offensive contribution comes into play here in a game where the Beacons' defense has been, if not inscrutable, has been very good by just about any measure you want to use. They have forced 14 turnovers to keep pace and maybe offset their own ball handling and ball security issues. 44% shooting for EastCon is not bad, but EastCon at this point on pace to score about 55 points, which the Beacons can surely live with. Max Lee sheds Zayas, pass inside, broken up by Lorquette. Charles Mitchell in transition and draws the foul. Toussaint before maybe the world's least convincing attempt at earning free throws. Flailing and shoving the ball in the general area code of the rim. Emmanuel Zayas, Charles Mitchell, Stephen DiGregorio, Malik Lorquette, Michael Walsh out there for the Beacons. Cade Ensinger, Max Lee, Quinton Lott, Benjamin Toussaint, and Tyrese Woods manning the floor for the Warriors. Lorquette driving, no good. Lott taps it, and stepping on the end line there on the leap was Benjamin Toussaint. And so the rebounding pressure leads to another possession. Team rebound for the Beacons. Zayas to trigger. Only 5'7". He's got to launch it over to get it to his man. Zayas driving now. Pass tipped by Lorquette, finds its way out to the perimeter. Zayas fires three from the corner, is good. Emmanuel Zayas gets himself on the board. And the Beacons back within 7 here. EastCon can feel the footsteps. 12-point lead shaved almost in half. Kick. Jalen Williams, open three, can't answer. Ensinger with a rebound and he loses it. DiGregorio serving. Zayas now. Charlie Mitchell on the bench right now. Ika Lou has been on the bench for a little while here. Charles Mitchell has stayed out. Lorquette serving. Charles Mitchell off the curl. No good. Way long on the three. And now a chance to run. Oh, Mitchell, what a steal. Lays it up and in. Ever dangerous in the open floor, and UMass Boston has closed the lead to 5. Halfway home in the second half here at the Clark Athletic Center. We'll be right back. Seven unanswered points for UMass Boston, and here we are. Halfway through the second half, and EastCon badly in need of some offense to stop the Beacons' momentum. But the defense has been the part that's been working for UMass Boston throughout the game. A little bit too physical going over the screen, says the slot official. They're hitting the foul. Zayas. Emmanuel Zayas commits the foul. 5th team foul here at the halfway point. So you'd expect the bonus at some point in this half for EastCon. Slot loses the ball on the inbounds. He still has great position. That's out of bounds off Lorquette. No! It appeared as though it was off Lorquette. EastCon with a right to complain on that one. But by the same token, if you're Malik Lorquette, you've had enough bad karma in this second half to last you for the rest of the season. So it's kind of hard to complain when he gets the benefit of the doubt, I suppose. Hit in the face, no call, and then blocked a shot that went in anyway. DiGregorio to the rim. Stephen DiGregorio, 12 points to lead the Beacons. And he's led them back to within 3. 9 unanswered points. DiGregorio with another rebound. Charles Mitchell right around Woods. Up and blocking foul. Oh, and Mitchell grabbing the back of his head. Looks to be, oh, he's hobbling out. Oh, he just ran out of the building. This is unusual. We have not seen this before. Charles Mitchell has completely exited the gym. He took a fall, appeared to grab the back of his head, although that may have just been hand placement. Don't want to speculate too much. Laid there for a minute, hopped up, looked like he was hobbling, but nevertheless bouncing around, and then immediately made a beeline for the gym exit and sprinted his way out into the lobby. A couple of team personnel have gone out to check on him. This is a first, folks. I've never seen anything like this before. So Charles Mitchell, third leading scorer in the conference, who is just starting to get things going for himself offensively, and has contributed to this game with a mind-boggling 6 steals. Sprints out of the building. He re-enters now. Appears to be walking more or less normally. Gotta tell you, folks, I'm dying for an explanation here, same as you, but really don't have a good one. He appears to be going to the bench for the moment. Takes a seat next to Ike Alua and Malik Brooms. The officials discussing things over with both head coaches. Officials discussing what to do. The call on the floor was a blocking foul assessed to Quinton Lott as Charles Mitchell drove to the basket. At the moment, Thomas Close is shooting what would appear to be a technical free throw, or a pair of free throws, I should say. Misses the first. Knocks down the second. There's still nothing popping up on the score sheet here. Charlie Mitchell comes onto the floor to join Zayas, DiGregorio, Walsh, and Lorquette. Charles Mitchell remains on the bench. Still no indication on the score sheet as to what that call was. Whether it was a technical foul for unsportsmanlike conduct, the sort of thing you get for arguing with an official, or whether they hit Mitchell with some manner of delay of game technical foul. Either way, it produced the first points for EastCon in a good few minutes. They're still without a field goal as UMass Boston, save for that free throw, has now scored what would appear to be, it's an 11-1 run. Tyrese Woods fires, no good. And now after an inexplicable stoppage, UMass Boston trying to maintain the momentum. Zayas, kick. Charlie Mitchell. DiGregorio with a handoff. Walsh, long three-pointer, no good. Lott snatches the rebound. EastCon trying to push the pace. Tyrese Woods on the handoff. Losing his footing on the crossover. Kicks to Close. They'll reset. Charles Mitchell back to the scorer's table. He will check in at the next dead ball. Oh, what a pass! What a pass from Tyrese Woods. The first EastCon field goal in a few minutes on a beautiful dump-off pass. The wraparound. 44-40. Mitchell will check in the next whistle, as will Rakesh Tibby of EastCon. Zayas gets the roll on the leaning jumper. Zayas has got 5. 7.5 minutes to play in regulation. Thomas close for three, rims out. He's been firing threes all games, as is his MO. He's 2 of 6 from downtown. Zayas directing traffic. He's got Lorquette, DiGregorio, Charlie Mitchell, Michael Walsh out there with him. He kicks to Charlie Mitchell. Gets it back. 2-man game. 3. No good. That would have given the Beacons their first lead since the first half. Zayas fires. They've got it! UMass Boston, down by 12 just a few minutes ago, has come all the way back to lead this one, 45-44. Emmanuel Zayas in Mitchell's stead, keying the offense. Close driving over Lorquette, rebound, Lott, up and fouled. Who's it on? Michael Walsh. That is his second personal. One to watch here, Charlie Mitchell, who is still out on the floor as we go to the under 8 media timeout, is playing with 4 fouls. Jalen Williams on the EastCon side is playing with 3 fouls, as is Malik Lorquette of the Beacons. We're going to take a quick break and be right back as the tension continues to ramp up here at Clark. This game has contained a good few oddities. The Beacons opening the first 4 minutes without taking a field goal. Malik Lorquette blocking a shot into the Beacons' own basket. And Charles Mitchell drawing a foul, taking a hard fall, and then inexplicably running out of the building to draw what we assume was a related delay of game technical foul call that provided a formidable EastCon lineup with its first score in a good few minutes. And the sum of all of it is a 1-point game. 1 point in the Beacons' favor a moment ago. 1 point in EastCon's favor after a pair of free throws from Quentin Lott. 6.5 minutes remaining here. Max Lee, Thomas Close, Jalen Williams, Tyrese Woods, and Rakesh Tibby out there for EastCon. UMass Boston countering with Stephen DiGregorio, Charles and Charlie Mitchell, Malik Lorquette, and Emmanuel Zayas. Charles Mitchell into the lane, knifing to the bucket. UMass Boston back on top. Mitchell seems to have found his driving angles. Williams fires, deflected, and recovered by the Beacons. Chance to push. And Zayas wisely backs out. He's going to reset the offense in the half court. Zayas driving left into the defender. Charles Mitchell now. 5 seconds to shoot. Mitchell Driving to the bucket. Dump off pass. Lorquette. And the foul. Malik Lorquette at the last possible moment. UMass Boston matching their largest lead of the game, a lead they had 18 minutes of game time ago. And Malik Lorquette, after struggling with foul trouble, with a bad missed call on a hit above the face, with a blocked shot that still resulted in a score for the other team, has come on brilliantly in the second half, and he comes up with a steal. The intrigue continues to mount here. Beacons now have a 2-possession lead with 5 minutes to go. Charlie Mitchell around the screen, surveying, had it poked away from behind. That looked like Lee getting a hand in. Here come the Warriors. Tyrese Woods with Charlie Mitchell. Oh, and it goes right through the hands of Thomas Close. Mitchell's the guy you want on Tyrese Woods, on the top scoring option late in the game. All-conference second all-defensive team, rather, in the Beacons last season. UMass with a chance to build the lead here as the game has now turned into the stretch run. Zayas, DiGregorio, hop step into the lane to the front of the rim for 2. Timeout EastCon. The UMass Boston rush simply can't be stopped right now. My goodness. A 23-5 run in the last 8 minutes and change. And Jason Harris's squad is not playing like a 2-4 team right now. Steven DiGregorio with the bounce of an elite wideout, the physicality of a football player, and the agility of a basketball stud, has continued to shine when the Beacons have needed him most. Charles Mitchell being tended to now behind the UMass Boston bench. Unsure if this is related to him, the fall and the subsequent run out of the gym, but he seems to be moving gingerly right now. He has, one of the assistant coaches has got his arm around him now as he lets him go back to the table. And he will be tended to as play resumes here. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. The lead is 6. Emmanuel Zaya stays out in his stead. His brother Charlie in the game with 4 fouls, as is Jalen Williams of the Warriors. Williams takes it now, handoff to Close. Close driving into the lane, step back, fall away jumper. Oh, what a shot. Beautiful high arcing try there from Thomas Close. Oh, and Zayas almost fumbled the ball out of bounds there, but just does keep his dribble. Low to the ground and sure-handed. Hezzy into the lane, kick. Burris, 3 is good! Tommy Burris with his first bucket of the game, and what a time to do it. Charles Mitchell now back on the bench. Kick, Williams, 3 to answer. No good. Rebound falls to the Warriors. Close will try. No good. And a foul on, if that's Williams, he's done. No, it's going to be Tyrese Woods. Just his first foul. 5th of the half for the Warriors. For the Beacons, they have put the Warriors in the bonus. The next foul will be a 1-and-1. Oh, big screen from Burris in the back court. But the Beacons will opt to reset. 3-possession lead now, coming up on 3 minutes to go in this one. Chance to take revenge for a 6-point loss to the Warriors that came last December. Lorquette kicks. Zayas, contested 3. No good. And we're staying here. EastCon can't corral the rebound. And the head coach over there, Bill Geithner, wants some answers here from the official. But it's going to be Beacon's ball. And here comes Charles Mitchell. The circumstances of him entering and exiting the game, we still aren't sure what he's dealing with. It could be more than one thing for that matter. But he sets a pin down for Zayas here, who comes to take the ball. DiGregorio, Charles Mitchell in the corner now. It's poked away from Lorquette, and with 10 seconds on the shot clock, the Beacons will re-trigger from the baseline. Zayas to inbound. He's got Charlie Mitchell in the corner. Oh, and that's a 5-second call. He waited a split second too long. Still a 7-point lead, but EastCon forcing the turnover. Jalen Williams to the bucket. Scores. Lead is cut to 5. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go here. UMass Boston trying to pull off an upset and hop a spot in the conference standings against a EastCon team that has established itself among the LEC's elite. Zayas pressured at the point of attack by Jalen Williams. Bounce pass. Charlie Mitchell driving, kicks. Charles Mitchell for 3. No good. Rebound Lorquette. And draws the foul. What a second half for Malik Lorquette. Adversity presents itself, and Malik Lorquette, as much as any player in this game, has risen to meet the challenge. 2 free throws now for him. Short on the first. He has been having a difficult year from the line here, just a touch under 40%. 1 of 2 now in this game. Cashes in on the second. Still a 2-possession game, 56-50, inside of 2 minutes to go. EastCon wasting no time here. Lee around the screen. Lobs up. Lorquette breaks up the pass, and Jalen Williams out of nowhere. 4-point game. Charlie Mitchell, kick, Zayas. Oh, and they say he stepped on the sideline. Emmanuel Zayas with a critical misstep. Minute 36 to go now. Still a 2-possession game. Jalen Williams, Max Lee, Tyrese Woods, Thomas Close, and Rakesh Tibby trying to close the gap here for EastCon. Lee, open jumper, scores! Lead is cut to 2. 80 seconds to play. Zayas over the timeline, flipping it to Charlie Mitchell and immediately asking for it back. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Horns play now, double screens at the point of attack. Kick, Charlie Mitchell. 7 seconds to shoot. He's looking for his brother. Pass is sealed off. Charlie Mitchell drives, scores! 2-possession game inside of a minute. EastCon swinging it. They find their point guard. Lob into Tibby. Catches under the basket. Blocked by Lorquette! Malik Lorquette with his 4th block of the game. And a major defensive stand from the Beacons. What a game for that young man right there. a leader on the defensive end all season. And in one of the biggest games of the year, he has not shied away from the moment. Zayas knocks down the first. It's a 1-1 here. He's earned the second free throw. Tommy Burris onto the floor now. He joins the Mitchell brothers, Zayas and Malik Lorquette, for the final 36 seconds of play. Zayas makes good on both. And a timeout whistled here by Bill Geithner. 36 seconds to go with a 30-second shot clock. The extent to which you can go 2 for 1 here is questionable. It's not particularly doable unless you feel like shooting a three-pointer absolutely immediately. So what do? You get the best shot you can, and you get it quickly. Ideally a 3. If it's going to be a 2, then so be it. And then you play your most aggressive defense, try to force a turnover, and failing that, you force the ball into the hands of the weakest free throw shooter you can find. I'm going to take a look at who the Beacons are going to put out here and who the weak spot in the free throw shooting chain would be. It's Tommy Burris, who has not taken one this season. It's Charlie Mitchell, 76%. It's Malik Lorquette, 40%. It's Charles Mitchell at 74%, and it is Emmanuel Zayas at 63 in a small sample. Lorquette would be the weak spot there. Max Lee, forced to pick up his dribble. Beacons pressuring hard. Lee, pass is picked! Got caught in the air with nowhere to go. And he fouls Mitchell. East Con's possession dissolves. And UMass Boston here with a chance to make it a 3-possession game with the shot clock turned off. Trailing by 10 at one point. Scoring 9 unanswered points and then 7 unanswered points in quick sequence. A 23-5 run in the middle of the second half to put themselves on the front foot. And now they have got a chance to seal the game. Critical free throw there from Charlie Mitchell to make it a 3-possession game. And adds the second for good measure. East Con scrambling up the floor here. Tyrese Woods right to the basket and misses the layup. Grabs his own rebound. Fall away jumper, no good. East Con ball with 9 seconds remaining. And this one is just about sealed. UMass Boston trailed at the half. Down 12 midway through the second. What a stand. What a game. UMass Boston takes it. 62-54 over the second-ranked team in the conference. And a monumental showing here from the Beacons. Steven DiGregorio keyed the attack in the first half. He finishes with a team-high 14. Charles Mitchell, despite the adversity, closes with 13 points and a mind-boggling 6 steals. Malik Lorquette, 8 points, 5 rebounds, and a smattering of blocks. He started off the game rough, took an uncalled hit to the face early in the second half, and had a blocked shot somehow still go in. But he stuck with it, and he anchored the defense that held East Con to a paltry offensive showing in the meat of the second half when the tide of the game completely turned around. What else can you say about his performance? Tyrese Woods, Jalen Williams leading the way on the East Con side with 15 and 12 points respectively. Jalen Williams coming on late despite the foul trouble. He had a stellar performance. And a game with so many oddities, a game with so many runs, with players who took hits and battled through. And UMass Boston, against the odds, gets it done late. Knocking down 3 of their last 4 shots were Zayas and Lorquette. Zayas' contributions, 10 points. Efficient shooting. Contributions in just about every statistical category, not to mention ball handling that steadied the ship. Taking on a lot of the duties when Charlie Mitchell had his playing time eaten into by foul trouble, and contributing 15 high-quality minutes at the point of attack. We take a look now at some of the team stats and how they shook out. A lot of them stayed pretty even. But UMass Boston on the offensive glass in particular, out-rebounding the Warriors 11-6 and transferring that into a 10-2 margin in second chance points, getting just enough of a handle on their turnovers late in the game to get themselves all the firepower they needed to come out with a win here. Before we go, looking ahead to the Beacon's remaining schedule here. After this game, UMass Boston is going to take on their next conference opponent. It is going to be Castleton on Monday. After that, they're going to take a trip up to WestCon and then come back for a game against Plymouth State a week from today. 3 conference games in the next slew of days. I'm going to say a quick thank you to our broadcast team before we sign off. To Seth Orensky, our producer. To Jackson Snyder for directing the broadcast, handling the graphics. To Georgia Bonney for operating our camera as much as it tried to fight her today. Once again, the final score from Clark Athletic Center. UMass Boston men's basketball takes an exciting 62-54 win over second place Eastern Connecticut State. They will resume action on Monday night against Castleton. For all of us here at UMass Boston, I'm Milton Posner. Thank you so very much for watching.